Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Jamie. Now, today I'll be going over 5 things that I believe every new business owner should know. And stay tuned to the end of my video where I will be going over the best way I believe to finance your new business. Now, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I upload videos every Wednesday on investing, personal finance, and entrepreneurship. Go ahead and hit that like button if these are videos that you would like to see. When you're starting your very own business, one of the biggest questions that you will need to ask yourself is, what type of business am I going to go in? I believe if we look at this very seriously, it is also one of the simplest questions at the end of the day. Because starting a business, doing something that you love is the best way to go. A lot of us work every day. Now, we work in jobs that we may not necessarily love. We work in jobs that we're actually indifferent to. Now, if you're going to start a business, it is best to start in something that you love, because starting a business in something that you're actually indifferent to will not work. You need to do something that you actually love, something that doesn't seem like work. When you go to your job every day, we all have a supervisor. Now, this supervisor is the one that is pretty much over our shoulders to ensure that we do our work, deliver it on time, and maintain all the high standards. As a business owner, you don't have this supervisor. You're basically your own supervisor. You're the one that needs to ensure that everything gets done, and if you don't, who will? Now, even if you have employees, they're not the ones that are pretty much going to look out for your business. You are now, in this sense, their supervisor. You will need to ensure that they maintain the good name of your business. So going into a business that you do not love will become a bother after some time, and you will not want to do it for the long term. Now, I know a lot of persons may say that opening a business that makes a lot of money will cause them to love it over time, but it never does. Without real passion for whatever business you choose to go in, you will never go too far. The next thing that we all need to do is to actually separate our business life from our personal life also. In one of my previous videos, I discussed a couple of things that I learned from my very first business endeavor. As business owners, what we may find is that it is very difficult to separate our business from our personal life, especially your time and your finances. Being a small entrepreneur, you're in charge of every aspect of your business. What happens here is that you're not fully able to split the time between your business and your personal life. Everything becomes intertwined. We normally tend to chase after the money, chase after the next sale. So what we do is we normally tend to visit clients at some ungodly hour or whenever it is that they call, just to make that next sale. And what this does is to actually take time away from our friends and families. We need to form clear lines of separation between the funds for the business and our personal funds, because if we do not set up these clear lines, what we will find is that we continue to pump more money and more money into the business. Yes, it is good sometimes to pump more money, because then what happens is we're actually growing the business. But at some point in time, we need to know that whatever business we're making is self-sufficient. It will operate on its own merits. So all the money that we have previously put in this business can operate the business, because no business can grow exponentially. At some point in time, we have to stop putting money in. See where the business lies by itself. I don't go into business to lose any money, and I'm sure you won't either. But continually pumping more funds into the business, we will never know if the business is able to stand on its own and generate its own profits. Yes, we can always try to make it bigger, but at the end of the day, our businesses are their own person in a sense. It is a registered entity, sometimes even with its own TRN. In Jamaica, to register a business, what you will need to do is to visit the Companies Office of Jamaica. By registering your business, you make it a formal entity with its own name and identity. There are two main ways to register a business in Jamaica, whether by a business name or as a limited liability company. By registering your business, you take the first step to have a legally operated business in Jamaica. Now, a point to note, If you are operating your business and it's not registered with the Companies Office of Jamaica, it is an illegal activity. I also started out this way before registering my first business name in 2017. When you're registering a business name, you can do it sometimes as a sole trader or as a partnership. If you're registering a sole trader, what may happen is that you don't get a separate TRN for the business. It will use your personal TRN as the business is tied to you. When you're registering a partnership, you will get a separate TRN because for a partnership, you have to have a minimum of 2 persons. When I registered my very first business name, it cost me about $2,500 and I had to fill out a form. It's a form that is available on the Companies Office of Jamaica's website. When you're registering a limited liability company, you will need to do an articles of incorporation along with the registration forms for the business. The registration form is the same one that you use to register the sole trader business or the partnership. You just tick different boxes. A limited liability company will get all its own information. It will get its own TRN, its own NIS, and so on. This is because the company is considered its own separate legal entity from you. Your company can actually take you to court if the managers believe that you're not acting in the best interest of the company. When I registered my first company, I paid approximately $28,000 to do the entire registration. Now, I do not remember the exact figure. You can contact the company's office to get the full figure because it could possibly have changed. Now, registering a business is very good because it brings legitimacy to your operations, with which you are able to open bank accounts for your business to further keep your finances separate. You can also chase your customers down legally if they default on payments. Now, when you register your business and create its own identity, this also aids a lot in marketing your company. Now, when you create the identity for your company, the next thing that you need to do is to start getting some customers. Now, I believe nowadays getting customers or reaching customers is getting easier and easier because currently we're all very social. We're always on our Instagram, Facebook, sometimes even our WhatsApp messaging. We're always on it. We're always posting. Now, because we're getting so social nowadays, what I believe that we should all do is to try to move more into an e-commerce type of business. With an e-commerce business, you can pretty much operate out of your own home. You just need to store your supplies or your goods. Even though it's easier to reach your clients today on social media and so on, it is still going to take some work to get started. What I believe you should do as a new person, try and find persons that are already in your niche, that are already doing what it is that you're trying to get into. Reach out to their customers. You never know what can happen. By reaching out, what I mean is go ahead and follow them. Sometimes you can even send them messages, but it is not recommended at all times to be that invasive because on Instagram, for example, if you follow someone, it actually pops up. Now, once they see that it is something that they like or they're already following, they may go ahead and take a look at your storefront and so on. Now, once you get persons looking, you have to ensure that whatever it is that you're offering is top quality. Also ensure that your customer service is on point. Because if you exceed a customer's expectation, more than likely that customer will not even tell a person. Or even if they tell someone, they're not going to tell more than like one or two of their close friends that, hey, you know, I went to Jamie's store and he exceeded my expectation. He was so nice, so cordial. But if it is that they have a bad experience, I can guarantee you the first place they're going to stop is on their Twitter account. They're not even going to call you first and say, hey, this happened or that happened. They're going to go on Twitter and create a big rant. Now, as someone just starting out, I can guarantee you, someone complaining on Twitter can cripple your business before you even get it off the ground. The last thing we're going to look at is financing. If you're like me and you have a 9 to 5, then at the end of the day, whatever you make from your job is pretty much only able to cover your bills, buy food, maybe a little bit of entertainment, and then get you back to work and buy lunch until your next paycheck comes in. While this may be true, by earning a paycheck, we actually have a little bit of power. Banks love to know that you're a permanent employee employed to a good firm, you've been there for a while, and your credit is not all that bad. No, I'm talking about your credit because Jamaica is going the same route as the US. Your credit score is playing a huge part in how you seek financing from the commercial institutions nowadays. Credit scores are becoming a lot more important. Now, just a little heads up. If you're someone that has, let's say, a postpaid phone where you pay a bill at the end of the month or whenever, be sure to pay your bill on time because if you're paying your phone bill constantly late, this affects your credit score. Now, the very first time I decided to do an investment, I actually did through a bank loan. At the time, I couldn't even get the loan myself because I was not earning enough to finance my lifestyle plus finance the loan. At the time, that's what the bank said. For me, I view these loans as a means to an end. When you're taking a loan, the payback period, the interest rate, and the monthly payments are all things that you will need to take note of. As an entrepreneur, when I am taking out loans, to be honest, I take note of all these things, but not to nitpick in a sense. The reason I do it like this is because I am a very optimistic person and I do not intend to lose. All I do is ensure that whatever loan I am taking, my paycheck is able to cover it at the end of the day if my business starts making a loss. This is just a little bit of precaution on my part. What I try to do with these loans is to try to invest in something that is able to make double whatever my loan payment is. So if my loan payment comes out to, let's say, 20,000 at the end of the period, I try to invest in something that is going to make 40. So I am able to cover the loan and still have that additional 20,000 for myself as a profit for the month. Now, this is not always feasible as you will need to do some research on whatever business that you're trying to go into. But how I see it, if you have a loan for 20,000 and you're able to make 21,000 on a monthly basis, you're still winning because that additional 1,000 is pure profit. Because at the end of the day, you did not put up any money to invest in this business. It all came from the loan that is being paid back monthly by the business. So that additional 1,000 is just a start of things to come. By the way, the loans that I am talking are more personal loan types. Now, I believe in personal loans because they give me more freedom to do whatever it is that I want. If you're taking out a motor vehicle loan, you will need to have the bank as a mortgagee on that loan. And they are a little bit more expensive, but in my opinion, they are the best loan for someone who is an entrepreneur trying to start a successful business. These are just some of the things that you will need to look into when you're starting your very own business. There are lots more to consider if you want to start a successful business. One thing you can do from now, even if you have not yet started your business, is to build out your social media following. Because whenever you decide to start, you will need clients, and the bigger your following is, the easier it is for you to gain momentum. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the notification bell and select all, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. So until next week, guys, remember, I'm just a random guy on YouTube. So always do your research before you make any investment decision. Bye-bye.